welcome to Bar Cart Bookshelf, a video series about books and the drinks they inspire. My name is Elias, and today we're looking at Summer Suns by Lee Mandelo. Summer Suns is a sweltering southern gothic laced with horror, academic intrigue, and drag races through the hollers of Tennessee. It's very different from my usual sort of read, but when I was fortunate enough to receive an advanced reader copy earlier this summer, I was utterly captivated by the book. It's lush and decadent, it's very sensual, it drags you in that close way that a humid southern summer can. Almost like when you're walking down the street and the wind is blowing, but it doesn't cool anything down, it just sort of wraps itself around your ankles like a warm blanket. And Summer Suns had just exactly that quality if you gave that wind teeth. It's sharp, it's fierce, it's hungry, and it was simultaneously utterly familiar to my childhood growing up in Kentucky and completely alien. I had bonfires growing up, but I certainly didn't have fights the way these young men do, and while I've enjoyed walking down a moonlit road, never felt the need to do so in a fast car. At the same time, I cannot recommend this book highly enough. It was absolutely engrossing. I read it in about a day and a half, and I have not been able to stop recommending it to people all summer. And so, of course, it had to have a cocktail. And so that's what we're going to make today. Our drink for Summer Suns is going to be a crushed ice julep-style cocktail, perfect for a southern summer, out on the porch or the patio, just when the swelter is on, when that heat is wrapped all around you. This is exactly the sort of drink that I go for. So, why don't we get started with today's drink? Hot Nights in Nashville for Summer Suns by Lee Mandelo. Now, we are going to use the bourbon in just a bit, but first, we've got some fresh blackberries here, nice late summer fruit, and we're going to get those down into the base of our glass. So, get about 7 blackberries in there. It's really up to you, however much blackberry you want to bring forward. And I'm going to get my muddler here, and I'm going to muddle those blackberries just to break them up, express the juice. This is the first time we've gotten to muddle here on the channel, so that's fun. You always want to be gentle with the muddler. Not too aggressive, that's going to bring out a lot of bitter flavors. Just sort of gently pushing and turning until that fruit is really juicy and fresh. There at the bottom you can see that. And we've got our muddler that we'll set aside here. And then, of course, we've got our crushed ice. I have a bag of crushed ice here. I find that the best and most fun way to make crushed ice is to take your canvas sack and your wooden mallet and just beat it. Really, I think it captures some of the anger that we see in Summer Suns. A good way to sort of cathartically get that out of your system, I find. And we'll get our crushed ice down into the glass there, gently. It's alright if you spill a little. Very good. Now we've got our ice, and we'll get a little more ice in at the very end. But now we'll add our alcoholic ingredients. We're going to start with our bourbon. Always start with our base spirit. This is Jefferson's bourbon. It's made about 1.5 miles from where I grew up, and I absolutely love it. Small batch, local bourbon, really wonderful stuff to drink on its own, but also to mix into cocktails. And we'll get 1.5 ounces of that. You can't make a drink for a Southern Gothic book without bourbon, I don't think. So we've got that down in there. You can see we've still got plenty of space in the glass. That's because we're going to go for our green tea liqueur. It's an academic book as well, and when you're there at the library or out on the porch, it's nice to have a little iced tea in the summer. We'll get another 1.5 ounces of that. This is one of my homemade liqueurs. It's a really fun process to make. We'll have to do a techniques video at some point. And then, because it is hot in the summer, and it is a spicy kind of book with a real heat and passion with the characters, we're going to take about a bar spoon, which is a informal measurement, but is probably about 1/8 of an ounce. We're going to get this Thai chili liqueur that I made in there. It's just a bit of heat, a bit of spice, and we're going to get that down into the glass and give that a stir. It's going to bring just a real fire to the drink, a real bit of summer, a real bit of the smell of that asphalt and the blaze of those cars as they head on down the road. And then you'll give that a little stir. And so there you have it with our crushed ice, tea, bourbon, and chili liqueur, and also our muddled blackberries. A nice julep-style cocktail in honor of Summer Suns by Mandelo. The drink is Hot Nights in Nashville. The book will be available in September, end of September. We're about a month out here. I highly recommend pre-ordering it. I cannot wait to be able to talk about it with more people because it was just such an engrossing read. It is one that you want to have on your TBR list for the late summer and into the fall here. So, with that in mind, please remember to like and subscribe. Try the drink, let me know what you think. And until next time, cheers.